Welcome, beloved. Welcome to Miraculi University, the Mystery School. I am Astarius Miraculi, your sound wizard, your ascension ambassador, your champion of divine expansion. And the subject that I bring today is being your own champion and having your own back. Being your own champion and having your own back. There are so many ways in which we are sometimes not our own champion. We don't champion ourselves. So many ways in which we sometimes don't have our own back. And yet, because we were bestowed with this spark of divinity, that essence of creation force, that is the microcosmic extension of God, Goddess Absolute, we are absolutely meant to be our own champion and have our own back. When you honor all of who you are and you swallow yourself whole, you validate and you accept every facet of your own being without comparing yourself to some other being or some other person, without wishing that you were this person or that person, or wishing that you had this or that thing that the other person has, but really embracing fully that which the Most High has given you, then you are your own champion and you have your own back. When you are in the willingness to forgive yourself for even mistakes that you have made in life, you are your own champion and you have your own back. Not only the forgiving of yourself individually, but also the forgiving of others, even those who have hurt you and those who have misused you. When you forgive them, you're being your own champion. You're having your own back. Because any being in all existence is your own self by extension. To forgive another being is to forgive you by extension. Every being in existence is also a counterpart cell within you, within me. Because we all have a cell for every being in all existence. We have a cell for every man, woman, and child, for every angel and ascended master, for every ocean, mountain, and stream, for every mineral, plant, and animal, for every elemental, star, and galaxy. Because we are the master soul as the microcosmic container of the macrocosmic all that is. And what we do unto the drop, we do unto the ocean. What we think of the drop, we think of the ocean. if we have dark feelings toward any being in all of life, that dark feeling reflexes to life as a whole, even unto the Creator. To feel horribly about one individual is to feel horrible about the Creator at large. You cannot separate. You can't say, oh, I love this ocean, but I hate the wave over there. No, if you hate the wave, you hate the ocean. For the wave and the ocean are inseparable, as you and God are inseparable. When you embrace the reality of this truth, you are being your own champion, and you are having your back. When you celebrate your life, every facet of your life, even if it seems to be small accomplishments and not all of what it is that you want, celebrate it anyway. Maximize the minimum. Allow the minimum to become the maximum, as the glass, seen as half full, is in the potential of filling up. When the glass is seen as half empty, it's in the potential of emptying. So you want to be your own champion. You want to have your own back. When you look for the good in everything, even when certain parts of life seem to be running amok, or certain beings in life seem to be running amok, rather than looking at and giving all of your attention to that negative behavior, instead hold the possibility of redemption. See a higher possibility of expression for that being. When you do that, you're being your own champion. You're having your own back. So important. Bless the universe. Even bless God. Is God in need of a blessing? No. God is infinitely rich in blessings. And yet, when you bless God, because you are the microcosmic extension of God, and therefore you have that same creative potential as God absolute. And so when you bless God, even though God is infinitely rich in blessings, God becomes even richer in blessings by virtue of you having the presence of mind and heart to bless divinity. Same as you and me. If we're rich in love and someone comes and wants to share love with us, do we say to them, oh, I'm all full up, I don't need any more love? No. We receive that love, and even though we were already rich in love, now we're even richer in love. So remember to bless the whole of the universe. Bless all of life. Even bless your Creator. And when you do that, you are being your own champion, and you're having your own back. When I first came into the presence of mind and heart to be my own champion and have my own back, I was at the tender age of 22, and I remember writing this poem, Cause and Effect, the Universal Law of Necessity. And upon writing that poem, I knew then what my whole life was for. I knew the purpose of my life, and so I want to share it with you, because it was quite a wonderful rendering to come from the mind and the heart of the 22-year-old. But here's what came forth. And I had just been on my spiritual path for maybe just a couple months when I wrote this. That which is necessary. That which is necessary shall be. There is no escape from the fulfillment of necessity. To make a vain attempt will find one in the spider web of cyclicity. Around and around a constant revolution, not learning the lesson or receiving the message that would afford one a divine solution. But as for every experience, yours or mine, we are the creators of necessity in thought and word and deed, you see. Never an element of chance, not for you or for me. Because we project the causes, the effects become necessary. We create action, circumstance, and destiny. And now we know exactly what to expect. Through the universal law of cause and effect. But during the times when something negative would happen to us, our burdens seemed so heavy and oh how unjust. We cursed and cried. How could this happen to us? But the seeming negative thing was a lesson and a message too that could be highly beneficial to me and to you. The lesson and the message were like a door-marked pull, but our head was so hard and we were as stubborn as a bull, for there we were pushing on a door-marked pull. What are we doing? No wonder all the strife. Let us pass through the door of experience and it will serve us in life. So with calm assurance, we now walk through the door to be tormented by this experience no more. For the lesson we have learned and the message we did hear it, oh, how it expanded our mind and quickened our spirit. Yes, that circumstance was no element of chance. We were only receiving our own, and that's why we embraced it. Behold the things of greater brilliance on the other side of the door that now dutifully and joyously fulfill and replace it. To think we foolishly thought it was a disadvantage, what a blessing to realize that every seeming negative thing must always have an equal positive advantage. And now that all negative thoughts have been divinely released, our countenance is filled with that heavenly peace. A peace firm in the supreme spirit of eternal standing. I mean that unshakable peace that passeth understanding. And now whatever our fate, let us not be disturbed. It did not happen to hurt us, but to humbly serve. Despite the seeming pain and apparent distress, all situations are to uplift our consciousness. And now we deny the influence of anything distressing, for there's a lesson that is teaching and a message wisely expressing to please study us closely, for we are really a blessing. And now the knowledge has been bestowed upon you and upon me that whatever comes into being is born of necessity. No more will we be caught in the web of cyclicity. We're now empowered by the dance of cause and effect, the universal law of necessity. So let's break it down a little bit. We want to honor the importance of all things as being born of necessity. They have been necessitated by us, and we must own it. As I said, that which is necessary, that which is necessary shall be, and there is no escape from the fulfillment of necessity. To make a vain attempt will find one in the spider web of cyclicity. You see, we create a repetitiveness of that painful situation by not owning and taking responsibility for that which we have created. See, but as for every experience, yours or mine, we are the creators of necessity in thought and word and deed. You see, never an element of chance, not for you or for me, because we project the causes and then the effects become necessary. See, there is always the cause and then there is the effect. But then the third party is the effect. How do you respond to the effects that you've created? The effect determines what circumstantial impact or what impact the circumstances are going to have upon you. So it is important to know that you are in the power of being a strong creator when you choose to affect the difficult effects in your life in a good way, so that you are empowered by everything. But during the times when something negative would happen to us, our burden seemed so heavy, and oh, how unjust. We cursed and cried, how could this happen to us? See, when you honor that you are never a victim, then you are being your own champion, and you are having your own back. There is nothing whatsoever and no one whatsoever outside of you that is choosing the course of your life. or the course of my life. We are creating it all, though many things are created from an unconscious place. So we want to move beyond victimhood, because when we feel that we're a victim and we feel that something or someone out there can create the course of our life, then we have denied the creative ability that has been bestowed upon us by the Creator. We are the creator of it all. You see, the empowerment lies in understanding that the way out is the way through. That's why I say, so with calm assurance, we now walk through the door to be tormented by the experience no more. For the lesson we have learned and the message we did hear it, oh, how it expanded our mind and quickened our spirit. Yes, that circumstance was no element of chance. We were only receiving our own, and that's why we embraced it. Behold the things of greater brilliance on the other side of the door that now dutifully and joyously fulfill and replace it. This is how we receive the blessings, by taking responsibility. Everything that we experience in life is a door marked pull. When the door is marked pull, P-U-L-L, we take the handle. We receive that door unto ourselves, and then we have rites of passage and are able to walk through. But we first have to receive the door unto ourselves. See, pain is a door marked pull. Difficulties in life is a door marked pull. This is how we learn what it is that we are meant to learn from them. And once you learn all that any difficult situation in life has to teach you, then that difficulty outlives its usefulness, moves out of the way, makes room for other things that are more wonderful. So we want to take responsibility for the whole of our life. We are our own champion and have our own back when we take responsibility. And then we gain the wisdom. And now the knowledge has been bestowed upon you and upon me that whatever comes into being is born of necessity. No more will we be caught in the web of cyclicity, because we're now empowered by the dance of cause and effect, the universal law of necessity. We are our own champion and we have our own back when we take responsibility for our sexual energy. I have a webinar coming up called Sexual Healing and Ascension, coming up on the 27th of September at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And the information as to how you can register for this is at the bottom of this video. We're going to cover some really important areas, because the sexual area is an area wherein we have been tremendously blocked. So we want to be our own champion, and we want to have our own back by reclaiming this wonderful energy of sexuality. In this webinar, we will be covering, sexual energy as it relates to the ascension. Sexual energy as it relates to forgiveness, and the way in which through the forgiveness process that we gain a greater access to the positive expression of our sexual energy, which is creative energy. See, the same energy that makes a baby or brings erotic pleasure is the same energy that gives vitality to the body, heals the body, that brings longevity to life. The same energy that creates everything. So it is better to have the hots than not. It's not enough to have alignment in life. We must also have some sacred alignment in life. You see. So we're going to be working with sexual energy as to how to create divine alignment. How to be harmoniously connected to our loins. And that area which is the portal of creation. The means by which we've all earned our incarnation. So sexual energy as it relates to vitality, sexual energy as it relates to creation force, sexual energy and how to reclaim that energy that we have lost by way of different violations, by way of our being violated and maybe giving our power away through that violation, and also the way in which we have been violators and given our power away through that. This is going to be an extremely healing experience. Now, what I'd like for you to do is to email me questions before the 27th, before the actual webinar, so that I can meditate on these questions and really go into some deep, substance with regards to answering and responding to the questions. Some of them will be answered in the actual webinar itself. Some of them will be answered in other videos. They all will be deeply meditated upon, as well as placed in a pool for a constant stream of meditation and prayer upon them. So everything is going to be addressed, whether it's addressed directly in the webinar or not. I want to do it in this way because this is going to give me an opportunity to respond to your questions with a greater measure of substance. In previous webinars, I have attempted to follow the questions in the chat area, and it just doesn't give me enough time to really respond to them. Trying to be with the presentation in the webinar and read those questions doesn't work quite in the best way. So I want you to send me your questions via email. My email is astarius@astarius.com. You'll also find a link for that. And I want you to help to co-create this experience with me, because your questions is going to help co-create the webinar experience. And so it's going to be a really amazing experience. I have a feeling it's going to wind up being a series, but we're starting with this one, which again will be on Wednesday, the 27th of September at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The tuition for this webinar is a sliding scale offering of $15 to $26. And that can be submitted separately by way of going to my website, and I have a donation button there, and you can submit it in that way. It's a two-part process, so you register for the webinar, which doesn't require any financial offering to register, and then afterwards you submit your donation. And I'm not being hard-nosed about it. I'm trusting you to play in the field of win-win with me and to honor this as my livelihood. And I thank you so much, all of you who have done this, and many of you have just offered random donations. I always have a donation on my donation button on my website, and many of you have shown appreciation for the different videos that I have shot, and I'm just so grateful for that. Thank you all so much for playing in the field of win-win. Thank you all who have responded and allowed me to support you through doing psychic astrology readings for you, as well as sound healing transmissions, because the personal work is off the charts. If you like what you experience through these videos, then do some personal work with me, and I tell you what, we're taking it to the next level, and I would love to do that for you. If you're interested in a private session, all of that information is on my website, as well as CDs and a couple of books. So there's just so many different options that are available. So make sure you surf my website and look at all of the different treasures that are available. So I'm looking forward to experiencing with you in this this webinar. It's going to be an amazing experience, and I offer this final tone as a transmission for the healing of those sexual wounds, because it's time for us to reclaim this sacred energy. Aho Ashe. Amen Namaste. Hotep in Lakesh. Alakim. Shalom. Satnam. Hariom. Our sacred juices are cooked and infinitely expanding. Justafari. May you always have many miles on your smile and much wiggle in your giggle, tingling in your boots and laughter ever after. I am Astarius Miraculi. I love you so much. Fly well.